to a special show and tell episode of Cucco Attack. As I get ready to retire another Animal Crossing into the books of happy memories, I thought it'd be fun to give one final tour of the island as a little memento, and as which you may be able to tell from the background music playing, it's loosely inspired by Windfall Island from the Legend of Zelda, the Wind Waker, which is one of my all-time favorite games. So, let's get this show started, and I'll break down all the details as we go. So we'll begin with a quick look at the island map layout, which you can see all the residential buildings are largely located on the right, sloping upwards as you go, kind of just like how it is in Windfall. And then there's also a little peninsula near the top left that rests atop a lagoon, as similarly found near the edge of Windfall Island. And then the center of the island is mostly a natural space, lots of green, kind of just like it is in Windfall. And the only exception here is, in my case for Animal Crossing, it ended up being kind of more of a mini Central Park because I had a lot more trees. You gotta have trees for your bugs and stuff, so. And as for the residents you see here, I have 2 human players. Mostly because I wanted a nice balance of 6 icons left and right there, so. We have myself, and for the second human is Link's little sister as found in Wind Waker, Ariel. So, yes, very nice little touch right there. We then have an assortment of some rough and tough critters befitting a pirate island, starting with Hans, who bears a resemblance to the burly Gonzo of a Tetris pirate crew. Next, we have Dobby the Wolf, an inspiration of Link's wolf form from Twilight Princess, and also I just wanted a wise elder for my island, to which he fits the bill pretty nicely. And of course, a Wind Waker themed island would be incomplete without a local pig, to which Rasher here serves that rather nicely with his tough scar and amusing expressions. He plays the role of the bomb shopkeeper on my island, so. Next, we have a fitting rat with a pirate bandana. His name is Rod, and he is fitting to the Zelda series and Wind Waker as those sneaky rats who steal your ruppies and cause you to fall through those darn trapdoors. So he resides in the jail cell of our little island here. Moving on, we have the adorable Little Graham the hamster, who I think he bears a pretty striking resemblance to Mako of a Pirate's Tetra pirate crew. And then we have Ruby the rabbit, just because I wanted a villager with a peppy personality, and the white rabbit with the red eyes, it makes me think of Monty Python.
Dude, nibble your bum.
He's got huge, sharp... he can leap about. Look at the bones!
Go on, boss, chop its head off.
Right, silly little bleeder. One rabbit stew coming right up. Look!
After that, we have Cherry the dog, because she is the best villager. The end. She's my, absolute favorite villager, so I had to have her. Plus her little cool earrings and stuff, yeah. Moving on, we have Octavian the octopus, who of course is inspired by the nefarious Octoroks of the Zelda series who shoot rocks at you. He runs the Squid Hunt minigame house on the island, ironically enough, so. And next we have Wade the penguin, whom most closely matches the foreign merchant that sells you your sail on Windfall, Zunari. So, we definitely had to put him on here. And last but not least, we have Gladys here, whom, due to more villagers than was needed, I decided to give her the role of a Rito male bird. She somewhat also kind of resembles Bedley, now that I think about it, which turned out nicely, so she's welcome to stay on our island here. So, let's go ahead and start the tour at the docks and main gate of Windfall. We got all our boats here, and you'll Notice the iconic red mailbox here where letters are dropped off, just like in Wind Waker. I went ahead and just moved it away from my house and put it here, so... And then, as you enter the gate and ascend through a row of shops and markets, and you're gonna keep going up until you reach a nice little plaza here. Very reminiscent of how it goes through in Wind Waker. There's of course the iconic windmill here, and a walkway here to overlook some of the houses below. And there's a nice little side ramp here, which leads you back to the kind of the green space of the island. And to the west end of the island, you'll reach that iconic peninsula with the grave, where the disco man would dance all day and you'd learn the sun song. Let's see if we can't dance ourselves. And below the peninsula, of course, is the little grotto where Link would awoke first on the island in the game. I turned it into a bit more of a bamboo garden in my Animal Crossing sense, but I'm still happy that it's part of the island here. So now let's go ahead and take a look at each of the villagers' houses, each of which have been remodeled to resemble an iconic home or shop of Windfall, or some other building of the game. First, we have Rasher, who runs the bomb shop at the southern and most end of the island. Next is Gladys, whom, as I mentioned, was one more villager than was needed, so I made her house to resemble the Rito's post office of Dragon Roost Island. Next, we have Rod, whose house is a little jail cell that resides just below the ramp that leads to the windmill. You can also see the creepy Tingle hanging out just outside the house. Moving on into the main strip of Windfall, we first come upon the potion shop run by Hans here. You'll next notice this elaborate, ornate door as Windfall's richest residence, filled with sparkling vases, and at night is run as the local auction house. Moving on, we have the local outdoor shop run by our foreign tradesman, Wade in this case. I also trust a standee as the shop's assistant, whom attempts to steal from the safe found later in the game. Just above this little shop is the local coffee shop slash tavern that is run by our dear Cherry, where many a sailors would gather to trade tales. Near the top of the town is the reclusive photography Legend that is played by Dobie. I wanted one house to show off all the gyroids in Animal Crossing, so this seemed like a good fit to throw that in here. Next, we of course have the local school for the delinquent children of the island, which is run by Ruby here. And last but not least, the Squid Hunt Game House is run by the board shopkeeper, Octavian in this case. I even tried to fake the little staircase on the left you'll see here that would lead you up to the windmill. So moving on to my character's main home, I based off the pirate ship that sneaks onto Windfall during a dark and stormy night to steal the bombs. And inside the main room is, of course, the galley. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So you see the galley here is filled with many knick-knack and other hauls to be had. In the back is the captain's quarters, which is kept in good company by many rough and tough stuffed animals with the broken hearts and eye patches here. Of course, our Nintendo Switch right by the bedside. We have what I like to call the gentleman's quarters on the right, where many a shady deal was struck in this lush waiting area. Like how I was able to use the red curtains as an accent wall in this room. Give it that movie theater vibe. On the left here is the kitchen quarters where all the crew's meals are prepped in a hurry. Fish and lobsters and many strewn about plates of dishes. Top side we have the ship deck, which I tried to emulate being outside with the flying seagull hanging from the ceiling. And then I used the parade float here from Festivale, kind of as the bow of the ship. So, nice adventurous atmosphere up here. And below deck, we have the treasure room, which is filled with all things golden and shiny. This is how you get your happier home rating to go skyrocketing. So some other small touches scattered about. You'll notice our town flag here is the delightful lobster design, as is seen on Link's shirt at the beginning of the adventure. The town tune is the main theme of the Wind Waker, which you can hear here. So let's turn it on. And here in the Able Sister store, you can see custom outfit designs to represent Tetra's pirate crew. And there's a shady pirate port at the rear of the island for when Red docks his rusty bucket of a boat back here. Lots and lots of skulls and shady characters to be had back here. And then in the corner of the island, back here, is a Moe's statue head, which is a bit of a reference to the large stone head found in the corner of Outset Island that leads you to the Savage Labyrinth. You'll also notice right next to him is such a little gyroid, of which I've scattered a few of them about the island, sort of reminiscent of the hidden Koroks in Breath of the Wild. Whom, of course, Koroks originate from the Wind Waker, I know, but the kind of hidden nature is more Breath of the Wild-esque. If you decide to use the Dream Code to visit the island, here's a fun little scavenger hunt for you to enjoy. Can you find 8 gyroids hidden outside on the island? There's also 1 hidden fire flower, and a pair of warp pipes that are hidden. And finish the tour with some non-Zelda related items. At the summit of the island, we have a clearing, kind of like green space, which I've added a crashed star bit using some floor textures. It kind of is sort of reminiscent of the crashed meteorite at the beginning of Earthbound, which I had a fun touch just adding that in, so I love that game as well. I'm also pretty proud of my orchard, which nicely arranges all the fruits and veggies of the game. In the center of my town, as I previously mentioned, is just a nice little central park of sorts, which is very relaxing to take a leisurely, windy stroll through as the path goes around all the trees and such. And while it may be that my bridge layout seems kind of inefficient at times, I like the aesthetic of double bridges used here and there. So there you have it. That's more or less the final tour of my Animal Crossing New Horizons island, loosely inspired by Windfall from the Wind Waker. Hopefully you enjoyed viewing, or perhaps may have given you some inspired ideas of your own islands if you're still playing. And here is the Dream Code again if you'd like to tour the island yourself. Or it will also be in the description below in this video. And then I guess until next time, thanks for tuning in, and happy gaming everyone. We'll catch you later.